Welcome back. So in our last video we focused on adding stars to platforms from tiled map editor, so that's done, and now we're going to make it so that when you go over a star it will track and be part of your score. So this is actually a lot easier than you might think. Sorry, a lot easier than you might think. And we are going to start off by adding a variable here called score. So our score. We're going to make it to 0, and you notice I haven't put an int here because of type inference. I notice it's an int already. We are going to then create an HaxeFlixel.overlap. So this is different from a collide, of course, because collide won't let you interact. I mean, it won't let you go over an object, but this will let you overlap it, which is exactly what we need. We need the player to overlap with the star group, and is it stars group? Wow, thank you for IntelliSense. And as you can see here, this takes loads of arguments, but we're only going to use about 3 of them. So we'll use objects, group 1, objects or group 1, group 2, sorry, and then we'll use notify callback. That's it. So let's do that. Let's create this callback. We're going to call it. Collect star. Cool. So that'll go here, and as you can see from this one, the callback takes in 2 arguments by default. You don't have a choice. It takes dynamic and dynamic, and this is basically group 1 or your object 1, group 2 or your object 2. So in our case, we have player as one of them, and we have the stars group as the other. And I'm going to put underscores here for now because I don't want to set any arguments. Actually, I do. I want to have a star, and that's going to be sprite. And this is actually quite cool because even though this is the sprite group, so this is a group for all the stars in the game, when I overlap a certain star, I now have access to all the information of that star inside this method. So what I'm going to do is say star.kill, which is a method that comes with flex sprite, which will just kill the star, make it disappear, make it invisible, not invisible, remove it from the game, pretty much. So save some memory from that, and we want to increment the score. So score plus plus, and I'm just going to show you what that looks like in the game. Let's rewind for a second. I just typed in CLG, and it gave me a JS console log. This isn't default with VS Code. You have to add this in manually, and I'll show you how to do it really quickly. But it's something called a snippet. And if I hit Shift Command P and type in snippet, you will see that you can have a look at certain snippets here. And what I did was I created a new. Sorry, that's not what I was meant to do. So snippets. Here we go. I think this is it. Preferences, configure snippets. Now I've created one for Hax called HaxJSON. I've got a bunch of snippets in here. If I'm being honest, I kind of forgot how I did this in the first place. I might do a follow-up tutorial to explain this in more detail. But as you can see, the CLG here that I created, so prefix CLG, will do this for me. I've got one for debugger as well. So if I use CLG or debugger in the future, this is how they're made, and this is where they're coming from. Cool. So I've got this. What I'm going to do is now do player score and just print out the score into the console. That's not how you spell score. This is it. Save, and I have made a mistake according to this. Is it going to tell me? No, it's not. What's the problem? Missing. Okay, good shot. There's a semicolon there. Alright, so now once that loads up and builds the game, we can now hard refresh, and let's inspect the element, get the console out. It's a bit high, isn't it? Let's make it a bit lower. There we go. So now, moving the player, jump, interact with the star, it collects it, and of course I can collect as many stars as I want. I'm not going to collect all of them, but as you can see, that works, and it was actually really simple to implement. So that is it. Thank you for watching. In our next video, of course, we don't want the player to have a look at the console each time. We want to have a HUD, so a heads-up display up here, or over here, or over here, showing the score to the player at all time. So we are going to do that in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again at some point, hopefully. Bye.